What we do here is go back, 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 back.
What's going on, YouTube? Another new episode of Not Your Average Bros. Sorry for the delay. We've been upgrading our internet, what have you, from the guy in the corner over here. You upgraded that AOL. Before we get into today, I wanted to kind of open up a different conversation. But today, we're going to go over sad movie moments. But for the brothers, today, Friday, what is today, the 22nd? 23rd?
Yep.
Today is Mega Millions. Mega Millions is at $1 billion. So I wanted to have this question for you guys. What would you do if you won? Like legitimately, what would you do if you won?
So what's the total? What's the total?
It's like it's over 1 billion. I don't know what it actually is, but
1 billion, like
$1 billion,
So I just wanna make it
billion
clear,
dollars. Yeah.
That's more money than all of us make right now.
What can I do?
Whoa,
What can I
whoa.
do?
Hold on, speak for yourself, Rob. I just found a
I know what I would do.
What would you do? Like legitimately,
I know
what
what I
would
would
you
do.
Spots like I'm
All
putting
right,
rims on
so-
the Jeep.
Big old ribs.
So I'm bringing
Big
those
ribs.
spree wheels back, man.
Bring the spring wheels back. He's
Oh,
gonna buy
Free
some
will
Dada
spinners
Supremes.
back. That's it. That's all
like,
I need. I made it.
I'm gonna I'm buying a house. I would probably I'd say retire, but I'd want to do something. I'd be bored. I'd want to buy like a bookstore, comic shop, or card shop or something like that, and have that as like kind of my 9 to 5. And then travel. I think I'd want to travel a little bit. Get Luca around the world and seeing some stuff while he's growing up. I don't think I would do anything wild with it. I think I'd buy a house. I wouldn't go crazy buying a bunch of cars and stuff like that. And
I know what
probably
I would
save
do.
a lot of it, invest some money.
I'd probably be a lot less selfish than Rob. I would buy my parents a house first, take care of my parents. That's what I would do. But if y'all want to do y'all selfish stuff first, that's okay.
Damn, you forgot about us. Okay, got you.
I wasn't done yet. I wasn't done
Yeah.
yet, fellas. I would say so. I would get my parents a house first. Get them a house, whatever they want. Probably the house.
Where at? What side of town? What side of town?
Wherever they want to be at, man. Wherever they
San
want to be.
Antonio? You wouldn't just say, hey,
And
hey,
Mom,
we're
you think
we're
they
gonna
wanna
put you
move
in
back?
Alamo
You think they
Heights,
wanna
like
move
we're-
back?
Mom, Dad, if I love you, but they were not going outside of San Antonio. They're gonna stay in San Antonio forever. They're not going nowhere. They would not go down to Heights though. I know that for sure. So
you
Rob,
give them the
sorry.
biggest house on the
Rob,
south side,
sorry,
right?
Rob. Sorry, Rob. They wouldn't be in your neighborhood. Then I get my whole family, pay off their houses, and then you guys here, man. I get you. I will whatever you ask for me. I got you. I will take care of whatever y'all need. Pay for your kids' schools. Take care of all you guys' bills, all that stuff. John, sorry, your student loans, that's yours. You gotta take care of that yourself.
Okay.
And like Rob said, man, I think like I would retire too. But me, like I'm a huge like plant animal person. So I feel like I would have, I don't want to say a zoo, because that's too that's a little, I'm not trying to do no what is that guy, Joe Tiger? I'm not trying to do all that.
No, it would be Joe's Exotic too.
Joe Exotic too.
But definitely, man, just like go like I think Rob said, like travel places where there's exotic, plants and exotic animals, and show my kids those kind of things that I grew up with and I like doing, and things like that. So I mean, that's something that I would do.
John, what about you?
I think we'd all be buying our parents stuff and things like that. I think it is like
That's a given, right, Rob? We ain't
Yeah,
got
I
to
would
say
say
But
it.
you still, I feel like you still got to say it though, man, because your parents are watching.
what's
this stuff.
I think people want to know like what's the stupid thing you would do with your money? Like
I
think
got a
we'd
question.
we'd all take care of each other. We would upgrade a studio for a podcast that we've got. But I think like what's the dumbest
We'd all
thing
be
you
in the
would
same
do?
room.
You know,
Yeah.
Like a panel, right?
you know what I would do? Okay, dumb thing I would do. I would honestly probably, it's gonna sound real dumb as hell. Yeah, I know y'all see those old cars, like the old Cadillacs that had those big, like John said earlier, big old rims. Get some big old rims on it and get like a Skittles paint job or like a Sunkiss paint job. That'd be my thing. That'd be the stupid thing I would do.
Okay.
You know what I
The
would
music
do?
over
You know what
here.
I'd do
The
with my
road
money?
music.
Get some
The
doves,
stupid-
some slabs.
You would
10
match
years
San
ago,
Antonio,
bro.
so no one would rob you.
That's true, yeah.
The
I
stupid
think-
thing I
I
would
mean-
do with
What would you do, Rob?
the dumb thing I would do with my money, I would remake Game of Thrones season 8 correctly this time.
Okay.
And I would probably like max out my money, but I think like I would get it back from the fans. I think the fans would love it.
You probably make
that
it
would be,
back,
like, the
bro.
dumb
I
thing
swear,
would
I'm
do.
sure HBO would cut you a check if you
Yeah,
invest
I'd
in that.
license out something. I'd just redo the whole season because it was horrible.
All right.
It's a good, I've never seen this, so I don't know, but that's
Hey, I actually agree with Rob. Like, I mean, not with the HBO thing and the Game of Thrones, but like the traveling, taking care of my folks, buying a new house. Um, I think traveling like resonated the most. Like I love traveling, so I would go like everywhere,
Oh yeah,
like
maybe
all
in
over the
Oklahoma, of
world,
course you want to travel. Nobody will stay there forever.
all over the world. I mean, even when I was in San Antonio and left, I still wanted to travel spot.
Man, and I'm the
Okay.
opposite of traveling. I know that
I
my
like
wife
to.
wants to travel. The only place that I feel like I would go, and that's it, or two places. I would go to Japan, and
With the Dragon Ball
then
Z stuff in the back.
yeah, with
Hey,
all
they
the
say
Digis and
Japan
shit.
is the safest city in the world. So
I mean, I would go to Japan,
Japan's the safest city in the world.
and
yeah, it
then
was
I would
ranked the
want to go
safest
on a
city in the
trip to
world.
Alaska and go fishing in
I'm
Alaska.
sorry. I'm sorry,
I mean, that's
world.
dope.
I'm sorry, internet. Did y'all hear that? Japan is the safest city in the world.
Google it
I
up
just said
and
that.
check it out. Japan
Yeah,
is the safest.
until those Pokemon show up.
John just said
Then what are you
Japan.
doing?
The
Then
country
what are you
of
doing
the
out
country
there?
the country of Japan. John says is the safest city in the world. Just so y'all know that.
This is
I don't know if y'all
safest
caught
town.
that. That's what he said.
Okay, Tokyo is the
No,
safest city in the
spot-
world, not Japan.
Spot.
Tokyo,
He said
Japan.
Japan's the safest small city. The safest small city is Japan. What I
Tokyo,
think he
Japan,
meant to
bro.
say.
All right.
Hey, where's the
My
where's the
bad.
busiest Denny's though? I think we got to
Man,
get
it's dogs.
we got to get Joseph Gross on here to
Have
go
you ever
over the
been? Have you ever
busiest
been
Denny's.
downtown San Antonio?
The busiest
Downtown San
Denny's
Antonio. Downtown San Antonio.
is
Busiest Denny's
either
in the world. Google it. Google it. In the world.
Shout out to
Tok-
Cheese if you're watching. Shout
Tokyo,
out to
Japan.
Cheese.
Denny's.
So
Shout out-
John,
shout out to-
Antonio,
shout out to
downtown.
Japan.
John, Rob, since you live in different areas, and if you won, would you move back to San Antonio?
I'll be back there in a week.
Heck yeah, bro. Hey, I seen some houses out like. Well, I wouldn't be necessarily San
9
Antonio.
degrees up here.
No, it would. I mean, I would go on like a in town place to
I'm over
stay.
here in
I
the
would
cutoff.
like a hill country type place to stay too, like Bernie, or
Yeah.
Somewhere out there.
Yeah, I would live in Bernie. You know that you brought it up the other day. I'm looking at Atlanta Helotes, but
It's San Antonio. 66 degrees, San Antonio.
Yeah, the winters in San Antonio are great, but man, them summers, woo,
brutal.
Oof.
Yeah.
Those don't. Those don't.
I
those
might need to go
don't
to
count as
Minnesota where
winters.
Rob's at.
And he got the nice summers though.
Hey, Rob, how are summers in
Not-
Minnesota?
Oh, beautiful! Actually, way better. Way better.
Like,
You just got to be ready for January and February up here. But
like in the
spring
winter,
and the
January,
summer and the
February, you just
fall,
need to go to
it's
San
beautiful.
Antonio. Yeah, just go to San Antonio in the winter.
Before we move on, Rob, you kind of said that hey, you would get like a comic book shop. Rob, you would, or not Rob, but Spot, you said that you would kind of work with animals or have some kind of zoo of some sort. John, would you still work?
Actually, for the business, I would want to open some kind of like, I love like smoking meats and stuff, like some kind of like restaurant or something like that to open up. I smoke brisket. And
Still learning, by the way.
it's pretty. No, it's actually pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
I can see John coming up with his own rub.
Next time,
He had his own seasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
I
y'all
s-
want to see him, see his brisket, tell him to put it on there. Tell him to put it on here and then see.
Next
what it
time I
looks
cook
like.
one, I'm gonna take a picture and we're gonna put it on the gram. All right.
Hey.
And we're gonna show it off, man. It's pretty good.
But
But-
don't get me twisted. He's in Oklahoma, but he learned it from Texas. Don't get crazy, people.
No, it's definitely Texas barbecue. I use mesquite wood. It has to have a lot of flavor because if it don't have no flavor, it's not good. So it's definitely it got a San Antonio, South Texas feel.
There we go.
My barbecue, man.
Hey,
And-
Spot, now that you said that and Rob's had that idea before, for you guys out there that are watching, if you would like us to do top restaurants in San Antonio, please comment down below. I think that would be kind of an interesting episode to go about. I think we have some hole in the wall spots that were pretty interesting, like La Chinitas. I don't care what La Chinitas gets in grades. La Chinitas is good, bro. I don't care what anyone says, but then again, all right, so sad reality is probably none of us are going to win Mega Millions. So let's go ahead and roll into our topic today of sad episodes, sad movies, just things that kind of stuck out.
Yeah.
That just sad moments. Who wants to start it off? And I think that all of us are probably going to know that one that we're going to bring up. I think it's just a sad movie, sad moment in TV. John, I think you're going to want to talk about that one. Go ahead.
Well, it's because I talked about it earlier, but my sad moment, and it's it kind of like came back because I watched the reunion special for it with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But the episode is actually, I found out what the episode is called, and it's called Papa's New Excuse. And it's the famous line where Will Smith. Well, we'll kind of break it down. Will Smith's dad comes back in the picture. Will Smith stayed with his uncle and Aunt Viv in Bel Air. His dad comes back.
Shout out to Uncle Phil.
Shout out to
R.I.P.
Phil.
R.I.P.
For real.
Um, his dad comes back into the picture, and then Will gets real excited, and his dad starts getting his hopes up because they start planning this cross country trip. And Will gets excited. He's like, my dad's back, and I think a lot of people, either that's been in that situation or not, can kind of relate to it because everybody, they love their dad and they want their dad to love them. But he gets excited, and his dad at the end, it's like the main scene is at the end, and his dad comes back. He comes into the house, and he's like, "Well, I got some news. We're not gonna be able to do this. Like, I need you to tell Will that it's not happening." After Will got so excited about it, and then it starts with James Avery, who plays Uncle Phil. He starts tearing into the dad. He tears into the dad. And is like, this is not what fathers do. We take care of business.
Yeah, man. Shoot.
Yeah, we take care of business. And he lays into, like, I don't even know the guy's name, but it's Will's dad.
That's how much of a nobody he was.
Yeah, so much of nobody he was. So he's like, are you gonna tell him or not that I'm not gonna be there? And then, like, right after he said that, Will walks in and he's like, hey, what happened? And then his dad tells him, well, it's not gonna happen. I'll send for you later on. And then Will's there, like, okay, it's cool. It's cool. Kind of like he had to revert back to the way he felt. And his dad leaves, and he's like, still shaking his head, like everything's okay. And
damn, John's tearing up, guys.
Uncle Phil,
John, bro, calm down, man.
No, Uncle Phil is like, Will, you don't have to act tough. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable. And then it's not exactly what he said, but that's basically what he meant. And then Will's like, it's okay because you know what? I'm gonna be a better man for it. I'm gonna get married without him. I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna go to college without him. I'm gonna be successful. All these things, and you could tell like the passion that's coming from him. And this is really where this is the scene that kind of like everyone was like, oh shoot, like Will Smith can act. Will Smith is acting right now. And he goes like, I don't even need him. And then he kind of stops because like all that everything he was saying kind of builds up. And then he says the famous words. And he says, how come you ain't want me, man? And then Uncle Phil just comes and hugs him. And come to find out, that was not even part of the script. But
I didn't know that.
Because of the power that Will exerted in those lines. Uncle Phil, like James Avery was supposed to say something. He had a line after that, but the buildup was so strong that he just came and just hugged him. And then that's how the scene ends. It shows out, and then like on the reunion special, you find out James Avery leans in and he's like still hugging him like that, and he goes, now that's acting right there. And it's like everyone in the studio, it was like it was just a whole bunch of emotion. I remember I was still a little guy. I mean, I was younger, and I was like, oh dang, like that's deep right there. That is deep. And that really put like Will on the map as far as like, okay, this dude can act. Let's put him some movies. Let's start doing these things. And I mean, every time you watch it, you still can't help but like get emotional. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows someone that relates to that scene right there. That isn't close with their father or relative like that, where they just keep kind of, they have someone that's really close that they look up to, and there's kind of flaky and just blows them off, and it's just real powerful. So I mean, that's really the main one for me.
And I think it stands out there because it's not something you wouldn't expect from a comedy,
Yeah.
And that was like drama.
Yeah, you know what? And I kind of feel bad, since we have Rob on here. Rob, big Will Smith fan. We should have left that one for Rob. Rob, I apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob.
I think like
What you got, Rob?
no,
What
I
you
was
got?
gonna say, I was gonna say just with that one, like what resonated, yeah, it was like just the acting and what he did. I think at that time, right, he was still known more as a musician and a rapper. So to then see it transcend, but yeah, I mean, like I grew up with my dad, and like I felt that moment when I watched
Yeah,
it. And
man.
then
No,
Yeah.
for real.
any list you look on anything, because I think it was like John said, it was a comedy centric series, and there was serious moments, but that was one where like you didn't expect to feel it that way, and it showed the relationship between James Avery and Will Smith, like in their characters, Uncle Phil and Will. So that was huge, man.
And
Um,
Will Smith said in that reunion special that James Avery always pushed him to being a better actor, like push him. And that was like the first time he felt like, now I'm doing it. Now I'm acting, because there was so much emotion. It was
I didn't know that wasn't.
It was
I didn't know that part wasn't scripted, man.
I didn't know either. That's a good little
Yeah.
fact right there.
That's pretty cool to know that.
the one of the ones I wanted to call out. So I'm a big Sons of Anarchy fan. And I think like if you watch that show, like when it starts and like as it goes through the seasons, like the relationship with Jack and Opie is huge. And Opie goes from being like a kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out of Sam Crow, and then when they get, I want to say it's season 5.
It
I
is
think
season
maybe
5. It's season 5.
So season 5,
Fucking
they're
does
in
it.
prison. Yeah, they're in prison. They're basically set up in a scenario where Jax has to tell or choose one of the members that's in there with them. I think it's him, Chibs. I'm not sure if Juice is in there at the moment. Tig is in there, but there's a few of Sam Crow, and he has to basically choose who's gonna die. And there's a couple people that he just can't. So like the choices come down to, I think, I want to say it's between Chibs and Opie. And so right when they're supposed to make the decision, Opie actually like punches one of the guards, and he gets thrown into this ring where he's eventually like 1-on-4 against these other gang members, and they beat him pretty savagely. And then the last image before he dies is Jackson and the other guys are behind like some glass, and they can see into the room, and you just see Opie standing up straight, looks at Jax, and then he's hitting the back of the head with a pipe. And I remember just like, damn, like if you watch the show, I thought like for sure, right, Jax is I don't know if he had become president at that point. He might have still been VP. But I thought like, oh, they're for sure going to be 1 and 2 for the club. And then to see Opie get taken out like that was like really, really tough to watch, because he was such like a protector in the show.
Hitting the back of the head with a pipe.
Yeah, he was the protector.
Yeah,
he was the fan favorite. God,
I've seen that before in like real life.
Yo, man, I'll never forget that moment. God, Pickwill Park, San Antonio.
Pickwill Park, man.
Man, John, you froze that day though. You just stood there. It was like we're like, let's get out of there. Let's get out of here.
Bro, I was like 16. I was like,
yo, that froze. You freeze is all over. It's all over the internet now. He can't hit that back.
You froze, man. John, get out of here. Were you? I think you were the one that was driving at the time.
Man, Rob, I can say, Rob,
I was like, we need to get out of here.
I've never watched Son of Anarchy. I watched the first season, but you just describing that, man. That just feels like that's a moment.
It was a crazy episode, man. It was tough. He had a crazy story arc. His wife got killed earlier in I think season 1 by the gang because they thought he was a snitch. He had done a lot of stuff for them. He had gone to jail for them before on the show. He had 2 kids, got remarried. Like there was just a ton of stuff, man, that was going on. His dad got murdered. Just a lot to see the character arc for him. So that was for me one of the big ones that I saw from like a show that already had a ton of deaths. But that was one that hit really hard.
Absolutely. So I'll go next. I've been kind of going through some of the internet feeds and on BuzzFeed, and there's some that I agree with, some that I don't agree with, but there's one that I'm surprised that is not on here. And I was a big fan of the show Dexter, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for season 7. Yeah, I know that, it was supposed to end with season 6, but season 4 with the Trinity Killer. John Lithgow is an amazing actor. After that season, he was the Trinity Killer. For those of you guys that don't know who John Lithgow is, he's the one that played Lord Farquaad and Shrek. He's always been third.
If you
isn't it Lithgow?
Is it Lithgow or
Yeah,
Lithgow?
Lithgow.
He says if you don't know who he is, let me describe him as a cartoon.
It's like
But
a cartoon
he-
You never seen
amazing
this guy
actor.
before?
Yes, I thought it was John Lithgow.
Is it Lithgow or Lithgow?
I think it's either way, man. It's
Lithgow.
how
I think it's Lithgow.
Lithgow.
I don't know.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
John
It's 2-1,
Lithgow.
2-1.
John Lithgow, if you're watching this, hit us up. Let us know what your name is.
I haven't watched this show either, but I know who that guy is.
okay, good.
John
All right.
Lithgow.
So anyway, season 4, Dexter, obviously serial killer, good guy. And he finally gets rid of the Trinity killer, kills him, and then he comes home with his son sitting in a pile of blood, and then his wife dead in the tub because the Trinity killer killed him or killed the wife right before he killed him. So it was a very powerful scene. His son there in his mother's blood, wife there in the bathtub as the Trinity killer did take it. Very, very powerful scene, very moving scene. John Lithgow throughout that season was an amazing actor. Lithgow, whatever. Amazing actor. My goodness, it was an amazing season, amazing show up to season 6. But
In my head, I just see Lord Farquaad like as a serial killer right now. Just like the symbolism with that moment too is that his son sitting in the blood from his mother is the premise of the show is like Dexter, his mom was murdered in front of him and his brother, and when he was found by a police officer that takes him in and raises him, he was sitting in his mother's blood as well. So that's like the symbolism that comes back in that episode. But I think that was a great episode, powerful moment, and then that was the best season of Dexter, I think for sure.
oh, absolutely,
Overall,
absolutely.
yeah. Spot, what do you got, man?
All right, man. All right. So y'all ever seen a scary movie?
Oh,
Nah, man. So y'all know, I'm a huge Marvel fan. Huge Iron Man fan. So y'all already know I'm going with this.
Okay.
Endgame,
Endgame?
man. Endgame.
Ooh.
Tony Stark.
I haven't heard that bad as an adult, like ever.
I mean, there was the most selfish guy, playboy, did what he wanted to do, didn't care what nobody else thought.
Iron Man.
But his main thing was always to say, trying to protect people that I care about. Never act like he had feelings, never act like he cared about anybody, always act like he cared about himself. But his ultimate goal was to take care of his own. And the fact that he would sacrifice himself, knowing that if he did, he would lose his family that he had now to save his friends from before they were lost, is like the most selfless act I've seen from him, especially. Because even in the movie, he even says, he's like, I can't risk what I've got now. And that's with his, him with Pepper, him with the daughter. And to have a chance to go back and bring everybody back, but knowing like he's that's it. Like if he has his fingers, he's done.
Hey,
and his main goal was protect the whole entire. What?
Hey, could you picture like any other actor as Iron Man besides Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh man,
is there anybody that could like replace Robert Downey Jr. the way he played Iron Man?
Replace him would have to be like Jesus, because it ain't gonna happen. Because it ain't gonna happen, man.
I don't see anybody
else. I don't even think Jesus could do that, bro.
No, Jesus probably couldn't. Shout out to Jesus.
I don't see anyone else replacing a lot of those characters.
Yeah,
I mean, they changed the Hulk, but like Iron Man.
Yeah, it's tough with him, man. Because I think really the thing is Robert Downey Jr.
He did a Tony Stark. Good Iron Man.
He is Tony Stark. I mean, just the way he was even in his younger career, when he was always in trouble and he was
he had a rough past.
He had money. He was a playboy. That's the way he was, and that's what Tony Stark was. Same thing. So I think it was a perfect actor to give to them to put there, and just to see the selfless act that he made. And I don't know if y'all know this when y'all watch the movie, where Doctor Strange tells him, he goes like this to him, like he tells him like one, and Doctor Strange looks like he's about to, like he looks a little watery-eyed, but he knows what's about to happen because Doctor Strange saw it happening.
Damn, so I've never seen it, man. Now I want to watch it.
I didn't realize until
You've never seen it.
When Doctor Strange does this,
how you never seen Endgame?
You never watched it.
I've never seen Endgame.
He goes, Doctor Strange goes like this to him.
I would say,
and I'm saying, man,
that might be a bigger topic.
I watch it now.
I've never seen Endgame.
I watch Endgame like 10 times, and I'm not gonna lie. You can ask him eyeball every time he dies. Every time.
That's a sad stat that Schwarzenegger's never seen Endgame.
That's
bro. Like, how did you watch the one before that? Did you watch like
I'm behind on Marvel movies. I used to be a big Marvel fan, but
that's
I'm
the
kind of
one-
behind.
Black Panther yet?
The last movie
I've
we
seen
saw
Black
was Hulk.
Panther. That's probably the last one that I've seen.
You seen like Captain Marvel?
No,
Captain Marvel was alright.
It was good.
It was alright.
I've missed all the Spider-Mans, but I saw the trailer for the newest one, and that one was pretty good. The newest one that's coming out, I think it's sometime this year.
Do you know who Iron Man is?
I know who Iron Man is.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Do you know what
Andrew
Marvel
Garfield.
is?
No, I was kidding.
You know what Marvel is? Yeah, so that's
no.
definitely. So
Man,
watch the movie,
bro,
but notice.
This
Notice
might be
the Doctor-
sad. Like, I think this is sadder than the Will Smith moment right now.
Watch the Doctor Strange moment when he does this to him. He gives him the one.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
watch
the
his,
thing
watch
with
his face, man.
You have Disney
I think
Plus,
the thing
bro?
with
Yeah.
Marvel too.
Yeah,
I think the thing
turn it on
the thing
tonight
with
after this.
with those movies, right, is we went through like 10 years of watching those characters like grow and come
Oh, wait.
together and fight and
wait.
overcome. And I think like when you watch Infinity War and they ultimately lose, right, in that moment, and then to see them come back, like you'd want to expect that, all right, like the good guys win. And then there's that big moment before the final battle and Endgame where all the characters from the past come back and they reverse the
Yes.
snap,
It
and
was
it
like-
feels like you won.
Bro, I
And then-
remember
and
people
then you
clapping
go
in the
down
in
with
the
that,
in
so.
the in the theater.
I was
and
that
I was looking
person.
around like, we do
I was
this?
that
That was
person.
me.
We
I
do
did.
this? We
That
start
was me. I
clapping
clapped.
and getting up and standing up and clapping and
I
cheering.
was
Like, I've never been in like an
there was-
environment like that. I've never been in a movie where people just start getting up,
right.
cheering and clapping, and I'm like,
There's
For a fi- for a fiction-
when
for a fictional
Spider-Man
movie.
swung in, when Spider-Man swung into the screen, the guy next to me stood up and he like yelled some expletives and was just like, "He's back, baby! He's back, baby!" And I mean, like in my heart, like I felt the same way. I wasn't gonna stand up. So,
the
but-
only other like there's
Little
only
known
Marvel
it was
movies
Rob
where
that actually got
happens
up.
for me.
Yeah.
There's been Marvel movies, Black Panther, that happened too, and there were some expletives there, but it was like, yeah. I mean, it was. Just
I
like,
want to pull up I guess well it's gonna be sad still, but I think like away from movies. So this episode always got me. If you guys watched Futurama,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
there's the episode where Fry, you know, he obviously the premise, right? He falls into this like would be a cryo chamber, and he's frozen and goes to the future. And so he was a pizza delivery guy, right? And he had a dog, Seymour, I believe, who
Seymour.
would wait for him outside of work. And so he goes to deliver. Seymour
Panucci's
stays at the
Pizza.
pizza shop. Yeah,
Panucci's.
Seymour stays at the shop. He freezes, goes to the future, and then you see that, you know, he's obviously waiting. And at the end of in this episode, he finds Seymour frozen, and I think he's torn between like trying to bring him back is what he's trying to do in it.
He's encased in dolomite.
Yeah, so he's trying to do that, but at the end is the sad part, because right, like the episode ends. The episode ends and he goes through it, and it shows like Seymour waiting there day after day, and he's getting frail. The pizza place closes. He's still outside. And then obviously like he passes away waiting for Fry to come back. And I just thought like there's a ton of animal lovers out there. And even though this was like an animated show, I just remember that one was like, oh, like that was super sad to see like him waiting for his best friend. And then ultimately like he never gets to see him come back. So
Yeah, that's
that was one that
now
that's
that you're
good
saying
one.
that, let's stay on the animal topic. And I think everyone is like, you know, big animal lovers, what have you, especially for all of us here. Have you ever heard of a movie that you just don't want to watch because of a sad movie, the sad part in the movie? That's how I feel about Marley and Me, and that's probably the next one that people would think about when the dog dies at the end. I'm not gonna watch Marley and Me, just due to the fact that
man, you know what movie?
bro, that's sad, but they went through it with that dog in Marley.
I think it's called A Dog's Purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That movie, man. That movie's I think it's Dennis Quaid, Randy Quaid. I don't know one of them.
Dennis
No,
Quaid
his name was
probably.
Randy. His name was Randy Reyna.
Yo, you know what? I mean, it's an old story, but
Don't say Old Yeller.
No, Old Yeller, bro.
Oh my
Old
God,
Yeller.
I knew this.
Old Yeller. You know, I read that
You read it?
last. No, I read last.
Hey,
fall.
this is a movie.
You
These
never
are scenes
read
that we
that.
watched, man.
Yeah.
Hey, it's supposed to be sad.
I read
We're all-
most
It's
of
supposed to be
them
sad,
too,
but
but
it's supposed to be
last
sad, but we're all
fall-
laughing. We're all laughing, but it's supposed to be sad.
Hey, fifth grade, man. Fifth
You
grade.
gotta
That's like-
roll it. You gotta roll it to Fox and the Hound, then you gotta watch it.
No, Old Yeller, man. That boy loved that dog, and then he had to go and kill it because it had rabies.
What about-
And it did all else.
What about
It saved its life.
Hey, speaking about animals,
Like
man. Speaking about animals, if y'all, I mean, I remember all of us back in the day, we were like in high school, middle school, and everything, elementary. Pokemon was the big thing. Right? Ever watch Pokemon?
It's big now with these kids too.
Well, it's big now, but I mean, it was big when we were younger too. And
Now with
for
me.
the people who watch Pokemon, man, I'm saying the moment he does go Butterfree, bro, that moment. I'm sorry, man. That's me.
I don't know what that is.
Bro, I'm just okay. I was a Pokemon fan, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, for you guys that are out there listening
right now,
Hey, hold on.
for you guys that are listening right now, before we came on
the meme of that dude with the butterfly? Is that the meme of the dude that lets the butterfly go? Is that what that Pokemon is? I legitimately
I
don't
don't know.
what
I think it's
no.
butter.
That's not it. That's not it. Now you're talking about that's not it.
you talking about Pokemon, the movie that just came out or a few years ago?
Dude, but I'm talking about we were kids, man.
I mean, according to Schwacker, that's probably a recent movie.
Forget you, man.
Yeah,
but for those of y'all that don't know, before we came on here, Spot did point out. He goes, "No, my son's watching Pokemon in the background." So Spot just recently watched this episode.
I mean, it's on Netflix. I saw Pokemon. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's all right movie.
What about
stick with the original?
Movie? It's the series, not the movie.
Like characters leaving or like finale episodes for me. So like a show I really liked growing up was Boy Meets World. So I think a lot about like the final episode there, when they leave Mr. Feeney's class and he like gives them like a final goodbye, like, and he had been like really hesitant to tell them he loved them is like that episode's premise where they keep asking him like, you love us, right? You love us. And he will never say it. And at the end, when they all walk out and leave, like he goes by their desks and he like finally proclaims that he loves them. But I remember loving that show growing up and seeing like those characters like grow. And I thought like that was a really tough episode to watch. I was like, damn, like that's like a piece of childhood that leaves. So that one for me was another one where like, again, a comedy show or a show that was based around that with some bigger moments in it, obviously, but that was one where I was like, oh, that was pretty tough to like see like the show come to an end on. And I thought it was a fitting like kind of ending for it.
I love that show, but I don't remember the last episode, but I could see that, Principal Feeney, just he was always a hard guy,
Yeah, man.
So whenever like there's a lot of people like that are really like don't show emotion, and then when they finally do, you're like, oh my god.
Basically all of us, right?
Spot.
Another show that kind of had a good finale and a good ending, and this had a couple episodes that were kind of sad, but the finale, the original finale of Scrubs in season 8, I believe, or season 9, season 8 or 9, I forgot what season they ended on originally. That last episode was pretty touching, but the one episode that comes to mind is when I believe it was called My Screw Up, and I forgot the name of the actor, but inside his name was Ben.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser was Dr. Cox's best friend, brother to his wife, brother.
Tarzan, Brendan Fraser,
right?
Huh?
The one that played Tarzan.
Yeah. I remember Rob got me.
Right? That's what he was in.
Rob got me on Scrubs. I never used to watch it. I remember I watched it one time a couple times with Rob. We were younger, and it hit me on that.
Is he Tarzan or George of the Jungle?
Such an underrated
George
show,
the Jungle.
Me and Spot
George of the Jungle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and he was Encino Man back in the day.
Yeah, Encino Man.
Encino Man
back in the day with Pauly Shore.
The Mummy.
That's a good one.
Movie.
That episode was
I skipped
sad,
all those movies
man,
and went straight George of the Jungle.
Yeah, like throughout the show, right? He doesn't get along with his ex-wife, but he's like best friends. With his brother-in-law, and throughout, I think that episode, right, is where he's talking to him, but in reality, what happened is he messed up, right, on
JD messed up
for the brother-in-law, and I think it was Dr. Cox. I thought was who.
Dr. Cox in the episode. Dr. Cox had left the hospital, left JD in charge, and then Dr. Cox walks in happy, and then JD told them, hey. Right after you left, he went septic. There was nothing I can do, and he had passed away. And he was mad at JD for days and days. And that's the episode with the shower shorts.
Yeah, he's seeing Ben, right? Like he
sees Ben the whole time.
Him, and he doesn't until he's at the funeral. I think at the end, he finally realizes, like, hey, he did pass. And
he thinks that they're at his kid's birthday party, and he's like, "What do you think we are?" Yeah, that was tough. That was a whole episode. So that was kind of like that was a whole tough episode, to be honest.
And that show was legitimately like all comedy all the
Yeah.
time. Like there
Oh
was
yeah,
so
great
much
show by
in
the
it.
way. If y'all haven't seen, very
Oh, yeah.
underrated
Scrubs,
show.
watch it.
Bro,
Don't watch
Yeah.
the new
I
season.
guess I'm the
The
odd man out
first-
on this one. I'm just like,
Here's a movie that we've all seen, and I'm surprised.
Wait,
it
sorry,
hasn't
my
showed
bad.
up.
I know I have to do it because we're talking about grand finales, and everybody's gonna ask. It has to be The Office. Just for the people out there, I'm gonna just mention The Office. Nobody really cares about it.
Whoa, bro!
I'm gonna
You
mention the
got
people
one
out
of the
there.
#1 fans right here, and I think
Oh,
number
I'm
2
sur- I'm
over
sur-
here.
I'm-
Like I
I'm
love The
surprised.
Office.
I was waiting for you to mention it though. Nobody said anything.
hey, bro, I've honestly never seen The Office either. I'm not a big
for
TV.
The Office,
Like, I used to
The
watch
Office,
TV a lot.
The sad episode on The Office is not during the finale season.
Well, it was-
because I think everyone would
True.
agree it goes down, but it's what season 6 is when Michael.
Well, you
Scott
know,
leaves.
and you're right
Yeah.
because it's not even his last show. Because the show after.
Yeah,
the
well, he
finale-
comes back in the finale.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
he
'cause I
comes
remember-
back in the
Because his
finale.
the show that he leaves, or the show they do that like the whole little singing thing for him, is actually not his last show.
Yeah, he comes
The
back the
show
next
after
episode.
that,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, you're right. You're right. I thought you were gonna mention it anyway.
But I think the moments where they're there and they're finishing the Dundies, he's handing it over to D'Angelo, right?
Yeah.
Is Will Ferrell's character, and then they do the singing at the end. And I think like a little backstage tidbit, right, is that I think they said in behind the scenes footage that wasn't planned
yeah,
for Steve Carell, so they actually did that in unprompted and sang to him, and that's the tears and how he
Yeah.
reacts to it is all like real emotion when he was leaving the show, and so he like did that, and then you see man, like that episode's really tough. I think then the next episode he goes and his goodbye to Pam in the airport is
Yeah.
really, really tough.
that's
But
what-
yeah,
that's-
that season,
that's-
I love The Office.
I love The Office.
that's what she said. Throw it out there.
Okay.
You know, I noticed that like now, like all I watch is like sports and
Coco
news.
Melon?
I think I'm like
Coco Melon.
I wish. I
Alone?
mean, there's like a few shows that I get like real into. Like I think the last
American Idol.
no, one of the last few shows that like I binge watched was like Narcos, and that was really good. But
Not a lot of sad moments in there. Narcos is a great show, but not a lot
dude,
of sad.
Narcos is I
But we
watched
can- if we-
the
if we can stay
Colombia
on topic,
one, the
that'd be
Mexico
great.
one, like a lot. I mean, like every so often, me and my wife will like, all right, let's get into this, but it takes a little bit, and then like stuff on like actual like cable network or TV, like there's not very many.
I'm
that
waiting for
I
the
still watch.
Ozarks to come back. That's what I'm waiting for.
Like when I
Really
watched,
good.
I
when
heard that
watched
it might come back.
Ozarks is good. Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
Ozarks. Ozarks is one of the one I actually watched.
It's crazy because it's called Ozark. So
Ozark. Sorry.
If I ruined it for y'all,
One movie that hasn't come up, and I'm surprised no one mentioned Up in that whole beginning scene in Up.
I never
okay.
watched it.
You've seen Up, John. Get out of here. You have kids, man. You're telling me about Disney Plus and everything.
Maybe my kids watched it. That doesn't mean I watch it. I don't watch.
Nah, man.
John's a cool dad. He don't do stuff like that with his kids.
Yeah, I
we-
smoke briskets. I don't watch Up. I don't watch no Disney movies.
Hey, we watch Narcos together.
man.
That's what we done.
hey, I
I'm
would
a
say
fart on
that
the grill.
up until Luke was like
Oh,
9
man.
months, he would watch Criminal Minds with me, and then when I saw he could start paying attention, I had to stop watching all that stuff. So I was like, before that, man, 6 months old, we were solving murders together, and then after that, I was like, all right, like we'll roll with Coco Melon for right now, man, until because you're starting to realize what you're watching. So.
Oh man. All right, but you know what? We'll go ahead and wrap this episode up. But you know, before we end, I think that for myself and for one of the next episodes that we'll probably do now, I need to catch back up on Marvel movies. And what about guys if we rank Marvel movies?
Oh, that's easy, bro. I'll tell you right now.
That's
Endgame's
easy.
number one. Duh.
Well, okay, we'll put DC.
I
and Marvel together.
already ruined it for you.
We'll put DC and Marvel all together. But
Oh,
anyways,
DC's
Hey man, you don't need to put no DC movies together. They're not gonna get ranked, man. You're good. Hey, I did want to share. I want to rescind remaking season 8 of Game of Thrones. And what I would like to do with my my $1 billion, what was it, $1 billion? What
It's $1 billion.
close to it. I think I've thought about this before. Did we lose John?
Yeah, I think I think he's upset because I said, "Oh, I'm a man." He left, man.
He's checking,
He ditched.
he's checking the brisket. He's checking the
He's
brisket.
checking the brisket
Checking
right
the
now.
All right. Well, I was gonna say he started with. I was gonna say what I think would be cool to do with some money as another like job, because I just feel like I would be too bored of just traveling and doing nothing. I'd love to. I'd like to start like a year-round haunted house that did like all the different holidays. So I'd love to do like we have like a Valentine's theme, a St. Patrick's Day theme, Easter theme.
President's Day,
We do some like we do President's Day. We
the
do
Purge.
Independence Day theme. Like I just feel like we could do it. But this is the kicker: we're closing on Halloween because that's our day of rest, and we just open for all the
I
other.
like it. I
ones.
like it. I
That's
like it.
unique. That's
So,
unique.
I
Yeah,
like that.
and I think John, we've always had fun like putting on haunted houses and Spot's gotten to take part in it. I think that would be a cool like endeavor for us as
Yeah, see, I
friends
would.
to
I'll
knock out and
definitely
be
do
cool.
one with you guys. I'll never go to one with you guys.
Yeah, I help you out. I'm not about getting scared.
Yeah,
or anything
nah,
like
man.
that. I got bad
I
heart and
love,
stuff.
I love the scary people being involved, but having to go through that thing, nah, man. I'm a pass. I'm good.
Damn,
All right.
John was kicked. He can't log in now. All the lies he was told. But anyways, from the brothers here at Nacho Average Bros, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for the next episode. But from the brothers here, including John, he went out and smoked a brisket. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.